Yeah, it's fall here in Sweden in September 22, I think it is, 2022. I'm going to talk about a very hard topic for for you that listen. For me, is it not very hard because I have been showing that from heaven and from beneath that it's the question I read today. It was when we in recognition, I hope I say a right word in English. But when we choose to come back, uh, it's what I have been shown before. In that time, about that same time as the higher priest show up in the night in the air, I wake up and there was someone sitting at the table and writing inside a book. And I know I could feel it that he knew what I was doing, that I was looking at him, that I felt but he didn't look at me. He was writing in a book, and then I fall to sleep again. But about the same time as the higher priest show up for me in the night in the air, then one night I was sleeping, and my husband, I was married at that time, and my husband lay on the side of me and was sleeping, and I went into sleep. After that, my husband had fallen to sleep, and I come in a room like a bar or cafe style, and there was many people sitting and drinking and talking, but I ignored these people, and I went to a door that was on the other side of the room, and I went out in that door, and then I come into hell. And I have talked about this to visit hell, so I don't need to talk about all details about it, because you can listen at that episode when I was in hell. But that was the in that time frame, the area, I was showing God, and then not God but the higher priest in heaven, and then I was showing hell, how it looked like. And when those two are not together, it's we have a life between there. That we have a life here and now, that we can choose if we want to go to hell or if we want to go to heaven. And that what they were showing me, but I didn't know that in that time, and I didn't know it until today, when I have lots of spirits here, and I feel them sometimes, and they are giving me this insight, the understanding, the light. They give me the understanding now when I read about the question, why, if we are in heaven, why is it some that choose to to be evil? One thing, one answer is that maybe you see them as evil, but they are not evil because they are first in darkness, but God knows where they are going. So you don't know. That's their past. But God knows the future of people. So it seems that they can live a half life in evil, in the shadow, in the darkness. But God know they are. Certainly they are going to turn around and go for the light. And we don't know that, but God knows the future of all of us. And then is it that still today we don't have that sharp board between heaven and hell. It is evil still lives here on earth, and it's not coming from heaven, it's coming from below us, from hell it's coming. The devil have his own children, and he feed them and he take them to be here, born here on earth. We have not coming to that part where God is starting to clean up this world yet. So we have to deal with evil things, and that's also a test on us if we continue and increase the evil things in our life, because we are born with to know the good and the bad. If we are not have some mental issues, if we have we have some wounds in our brain, that is very few that is born with some illness in the brain. But if we are normal people, be born here, we have to struggle with these evil things that is inside us, because the devil is so very bad. So he go for the babies, he go for the children, because they have not yet started to get to know how to defend themselves. They maybe know how to say it, but they don't know how to say it from the heart. That's when they start to understand to talk from the heart and not what they learn to say. Then they get response of be taken care of from heaven. But it takes time for most of our children. It doesn't matter that their father and mother is leader for a church or have knowledge in tradition and religions, because they don't understand that they have to feel it in their heart. They only do what the mother or father is telling them. So they only repeat the parents, what they are saying. And they don't understand. And I know many many young people that their parents are leader for churches and for a religious teaching those things, and they are evil. The children are evil to these people. That's because the children have never got it into their heart. They only hear the parents. But then if the parents are saying things and then they do something else, then is it waste for most of the children to believe in what they are saying if they do something else. And it's this. It doesn't matter if it's the wine is kosher. It's still wine. I have drinking that kind of wine, and it was much alcohol in it. And I was curious. I was thinking, what is kosher wine? And we can buy that in our liquor store here in Sweden. And so I bought it once. And it was before I knew that I should not drink alcohol because of my pancreas. It was in the beginning when I come to Sweden 2004 about that. I took and bought a kosher wine. And it was very, very strong. I'd be surprised. I thought it should taste something else, that it was no alcohol in it. But it was very strong. And I can tell when I see these Jewish people, they are so drunk because many is coming from vodka land, from Russia, Ukraine, where they drink very heavy things, and they go drunk. And the Torah is telling that they should not be drunk of the wine, but they drinking, and they are alcoholic, or many of them. And so it's not about action, is the heart of a person that is telling that I can drink wine, but it can only be one glass of wine for in the dinner and not the whole bottle. And this must be in their heart. I am not against alcoholic. It's only that I don't drink because my pancreas kill me if I drink alcoholic. So I was drinking very much when I was young, and I can taste it's in my memories that is so very nice to drink some of this wine and liquors, but I don't do it anyway. I have that feeling still. It never go away of wanting to drink alcoholic things, but I don't do it. That's an active decision you make, that from today I don't drink it. And it's out from questions. It's only what it is. I don't drink it. That's for me. I can feel it today, even if it's about it's about 20 years since I was drinking. I didn't drink in United States because I had no money for that. I only drink it once. And so it's 25 years about that when I drink like ordinary people drink. And so that, and still I can feel that I want to drink. So it's, you need to be used with this thoughts and feeling that you want to drink, but ignore it. I want to drink that, but I don't drink it. That is a mindset thing. And we talk about the mindset, how to say no to things that is not good for you. And yesterday it was someone that wrote on Facebook, if the government should come in and help those senior people that playing up all the money they have, play on those games to win money, and you never win money really. It's very few that win money, so they stop gambling anymore and they live a normal life with that money. It's extremely few, if there is anyone that stop gambling after have win much money. And that's also something to say, no, I want to play, but I don't do it. It's to talk to yourself about it, that it's okay to longing for a drink, and it's okay to longing for to gamble, but you don't do it. It sounds simple, but it can be simple if you train you to say no to yourself. Say no to your wild you that the devil have placed inside you when you were very young. It doesn't have to with drinking or gamble to do, but in the way you are thinking about other things make you want to do it when you're older. I'm not talking about those subjects, because there is other that start with it, like I have said many times about smoking hashes, that smoking dope, and that is to open the door to other harder things that kill you, that make you go in prison, like that. It is to not start it. And the devil is saying to you as a child, it's okay, everyone do it. You are the only one that think that you should do it, not do it. Everyone is doing, it's normal. Yeah, it was. Now when I say it's normal, that was, I was watching documentary about this ISIS, those radical Muslims that kill people, and it was a little boy about he had not started school, so he was, but they didn't have school in that camp that the ISIS had. But he maybe was 8, 9 years old when he come back to his grandparents, and he cut off dolls. He had dolls, and he took away that parts of the bodies in front of the grandparents, and they ask, "Why are you doing this? Why are you destroy the doll?" And he said, "It's normal." They told him that every evil things is normal. That's the devil that talking. And he was doing, he beat every person he was. And they say to him, "Why do you want to hurt this little girl?" And he say, "It's normal." So that it is one word the devil is talking to you about when you are a child. That it's normal to smoke cigarettes. It's normal to drink. It's normal to swear. It's normal to use bad things. It's normal to have weapon. It's normal. It's normal. Like the devil knows that most people in this world want to be normal. You don't want to be seen as odd person. You don't want to be treated like you are different. You are not like us. That is a word that the devil have say that to me many times when I didn't know God so much. When I was in United States and was homeless, I come to churches. It was churches. It was not ordinary people on the street. It was when I come to churches, and the pastor was saying that to me because I was white and I was in a black church most of the time. And the pastor was saying, "You are not like us. You don't understand because you're not like us." And they were talking like that to me. "You are not normal." He could have said that word. "You are not normal. You are not normal inside this church." And sometimes I was the only white in the church. "You are not normal." And I knew when they say it like that, I knew it was the devil that was in the pulpit. That was the pastor that was preaching in the church. That was a sign of the devil when he is saying, "You're not normal. You're not a normal person." And he maybe say I was not normal because I didn't have color in my skin. Maybe it was that, but that is the same thing as the devil is talking. You don't understand us because we are black and you are white. You are not normal. And that is the sign that you should not accept. That's the devil, and the devil have an agenda for you when you hear that all the time, that you should only think that you belong to black people because you have a black skin. And that is a lie from the devil, because we are brother and sister no matter what color we have in the skin. It have nothing, it's not visible, brother and sister under God. We are, it's in our heart, in our mindset. It's not how we look like on the outside. Have nothing. with God to do. That's the devil that is telling this. And they play on the color of the skin because they get much money. They get support money to live their life. That's their job. That's the work they do. And even if they have other works in their life, but their main money is coming from to say, you are not normal. We have to fight against racism. And then they are racist people because they can't accept white people as be your brother and sister. But we all are brother and sister, no matter how you look like. You that sit in, I see now you're sitting in a wheelchair and talk, listen, and you are my brother and sister. It doesn't have with your outlook to do. It's in your heart, inside you. That's where we are connected to each other. So it's this is still we are in. I have to pondering of it if not any spirits come and tell me, because it's much spirits on me now. But it is, as I see it now, as me, as Eva. Anna is my first name. And it's, we live in between heaven and hell. We do that. It's showing a divide, and divided is this world we live in now, a short time. It's very short. Believe me, when you are in my age, I am soon 70 years old, 70, and now I see how short life are. So we don't have so much time to make us to walk on the right way and look up and not down. We have to know where we are going, and this is decision made from heaven that some, I am not on my own. There is some people that is born not to choose evil or good things. We is here to because we are messenger from heaven, and we can be messenger from for different things. But for me, is it a message from heaven? What heaven want to do, and what heaven want to tell you, what they see and what they know about the future. And this is my part of why I am here on earth. And some have less work to do, but important work anyway, even if it's not so big work from heaven have been placed here. Or if we should not work here on earth, now it's a spirit talking, now it's a spirit over me. So it's talking to you now. I let it talk. It's a sent here on earth some spirits to work just where you are. where like Jesus was walking with people and talk, and that's is sent here to earth, those kind of people. Then if they are not sent here from heaven, here on earth, walking around people born from the womb, those other, they are in heaven. We are in heaven. We were not, it was not the meaning that we should walk on earth. The meaning of us is that we support those that is walking on earth, that what they should do and what they will say, and we educate them in what they should be. That's why it seems like they have a normal life when they are young, but they doesn't have that normal life. When they look back when they are older, they see that their life was not the normal life, because we were educated them. And some have been evil. Some have been sitting in the prison, and that's because they were not taught, they have not learned from us in fully, and then they change their life to be good and work for us later on. But they can have a past that is evil, full of criminal things, full of drugs, or full of drinking, full of lies, full of gambling and robbery and all these things. But then suddenly they change to be good and help people with what they know about this life, to be criminal, to be close to hell. But before they leaving earth, they change and do good things. And it's good to listen at old people also, because they have learned a lesson, many of them. But still there is evil of people in old age. They have never learned, and they were not meant to be. There is people being chosen from us in heaven to come down on earth and walk an earthly life and help people. And that is he's saying that he's sending out knowledge to you now. That's why I stop here. It's a knowledge coming to you, that you understand what we're talking about. We are talking from heaven, and what we see and what have been in the past, how in the people's life, how they changed. And but too many have denied us. They have not understood that we in heaven are with them, and we try as much as we can to change them. Those that is coming from below, that is from hell, being born. We try very hard on them to change their life, to be coming with us to heaven. And some understand, but too many don't understand. We want to help 100%, but it doesn't work because all people that is not being picked out, chosen from heaven, those people that come from below, they have a free will to choose where they want to go. And it have been sent out for you that listen to this episode, a knowledge about it's a light coming to you. You understand now what we are talking about, and it's the best for you after you have got this lightning, this understanding, that you should listen at those other episodes where we are talking, and you learn who we are and what heaven is about. You don't need to have fear for death, because the death, if you do right things before you are dead, you will not fear death, because you're coming to us in heaven. So we take care of you. It's showing both boy and a girl, and I don't know if you are it's called in English, I think, town girl, town boy, that you are something between a woman and man, and you have already thinking how to use the knife, but now it's coming light on you and make you understand that was not the way you should go. It's not the knife's way. The knife is you look at the knife that you hold in your hand. That knife is your anger. That is your fear. That is emotional tool you have there. And it should not be used on you or yourself or other people. It should not be used. It should be to look at and take care of it. That this is only visible fear that's coming from the devil, because inside you is God, but the outside is hit from the devil, and that knife should not be used on the outside, the visible. That knife should be a tool that show you need to work on your heart and your mindset. And that's what this podcast is about, your mindset and heart. So that is the end of it. You should not use that knife on yourself. That knife should be remind you that this knife is carrying all your negative emotional things you have in your life, and that is not to cut yourself, it's to cut out people from your life, not literally, but in the spirit you take away all those that is negative for you in your life. A knife can't do anything on its own. It's you that hold the knife. And you can decide what to do with it. And you should look at it as a sign of your frustration, your anger, your fear, your hopeless feelings. That's not to use to kill. It's not. God doesn't like people that kill themselves. It's not you that decide when it's time for you to go. It's God that decide. And it's not the devil that decide when it's time for you to go. It's God, the good one. So, thank you for listening. I hope you understand what I have been talking about.